giving it away now.
Give it away now.
Yeah. I'm done now. All right. Yeah. Look, so my talk is on helping SMEs prepare for BIM adoption and helping them to win more projects. So, a bit about myself. I did a architectural technology course 2015, 10 years, graduated this year. Then I did the masters in TUD. Worked in mold architecture for 4 years, and I moved to Kingspan, where I worked until last November, and then I set up my own business, ConTech DPD. So just touching on that, so Kingspan, as you know, is a big multinational company, and what the work I was doing, I was the group BIM manager. I was looking at all their content, looking at all their businesses, in that they have 170 of them, and I was digitising them as we went along. So I was coming up with a BIM strategy, content, getting more leads, helping sales, helping architects, helping customers, primarily in Autodesk, Revit, ACC, and so on. And that gave me the mad idea to do that for myself in companies in Ireland, because with the introduction of the framework, I seen that there was a good opportunity for SMEs, and especially with the questions that I was getting and the conversations that I was having in and around the time. Kingspan was going through a transition as well, so we're kind of looking to see where it was going. So if you look at this now, we're in 26, you could say, and so projects around 10 million now are going to require BIM as a deliverable. And this isn't something that may be coming. This is here, and I'm seeing the effects of it. I'm seeing the requests on a regular basis from SMEs within Ireland, and that's the bit that I've highlighted. There is an opportunity for SMEs, and if they need to kind of prepare for this, because it's here now, and early adoption is key. So if we look at ConTech DPD, what does it stand for? So it's construction technology, and then there's a range of solutions that the company delivers. The first one of them is looking at process. So DPD1, you're looking at your BIM processes, your training, your adoption, helping customers like I was doing with Kingspan, and alignment with ISO 19650 were required. The next one, looking at companies with their products. So if a company wants to move into this area and they need to advance, or maybe it's a new company, a new startup like myself, I can help them with the years of experience that I've had developing some of their products for practical use. And then digital product display, the third module. Seen a lot of interest in this lately. So when companies have products developed, what do they do with them? How do they get them to their audience? Are they reaching the right people? When they do, are they getting the right leads? Are they falling into the right hands? So trying to help them with that, with the use of tools to assist in visualizing and helping the aid, because PDFs, we know we're moving away from them, so trying to get a workflow for that. And then the fourth one I'm seeing a lot of interest in is the project delivery. So looking at companies who are actually tendering for these projects, working on these projects, assisting them on their day-to-day. And with the roadmap, whenever the conversation comes up, I ask them, do you want training so you can do it yourself, or do you want me to kind of do it for you? So again, there's two different routes into those conversations, and definitely seeing a market for both of them. So there are the four products that we offer. And just to highlight, look, it is end-to-end. So if we engage with a company, we do try to cover the full spectrum and support them where required. So I do kind of, nearly micro focus on companies when we get them, and then we can tailor off then as we need. So one of those partnerships with the DPD tree, the showrooms, the product display. I'm working with a company from the UK called Martech 3D, and what they do is they offer a virtual showroom experience. So you've got your browser, their products, they turn them into 3D assets, and you can do multiple things with this on their browsers. So they don't have BIM capability, although they're a big organisation, so they bring the tech, the background for that, and we bring the BIM kind of knowledge and help their customers prepare to get their products into the platform to assist them. And there's some of the companies they're working with on the bottom. So if you think of what that looks like, so companies at different sizes, they have different requirements, and these are the kind of ones we're looking at. So is it complex machinery, pharmaceutical equipment, or is it a Kingspan product, an insulated panel that you want to explore. You want to see what's the fire criteria, all the data that's in with that. So we look at the physical product, we put it into the MarTech engine, and it's from there then you can start to do multiple things. And here's just a selection of some of them. You can make interactive 3D models with photorealistic renders, AR, so you could make the product appear in front of you, animation, so you could see how it's sequencing and build up and pull it apart and explore it. And then you get into the virtual showroom concept. So can you look into a building, walk around it, select your products in real time before actually making a decision, and bespoke development. So if there's not something there that you've seen, we can help you with that as well. And that leads to better sales, better engagement, and more engagement with the customers, because now you have something to talk about, a 3D product that they can nearly see and feel on screen. And that's some of the feedback we're getting. So if you give the customer 3D content, engagement goes up by 66%. Like, that's a massive kind of opportunity there to go after. So two of the products I'm working on, one of them is with Hemsec, who make insulated panels. Are based in the UK. And we've done a virtual showroom, plus we've done a BIM downloader. And I'll show what that looks like. So we build a landing page, you enter it, and you're brought into this area where you can start to add information. All these are hotspots, which you select in them, they open up more information. You can browse, you can go further into it. And then you can come into the different views which we create for them. So you can start to come into their customer site, where now you can start to see what the products look like. So this is an example of the insulated panels we've created, a sample wall. Here on the right, you can see now you can select the options for the external profile, the internal profile, and the color. So if you were to select the finish, now you can see they've got 3 profile options for the exterior. And as you circle through them, it updates accordingly. You can then select the color, and we can build out the color range based on the values provided. And that's again an example of what it looks like in that. So the next part of that is, once you've selected that product, you can view it, you can download directly into your desktop. We make it in Revit primarily, but we also offer IFC, PDF, any CAD, any documents you want, the partner wants to provide. We can make them available then on download, kind of check out in a shopping cart, so they can come back. So again, if we have to look at that, I've added a selection of case studies here of SMEs that I've worked with over the past few months, and wanted just to show that, like I said at the start, that this is here, it is happening. We're starting to see requests from people tendering for projects that they would have won without a question before, but now they're not getting selected. So this is a project that I was working with an electrical contractor from Cavan. He was working on this project, and what the tender said was it was 40% price, 60% quality. So it had changed, that the price wasn't the primary driver. So they need to show more information. So as we got talking, he had a set of PDF drawings. So we decided that we could increase them. So we made a full Revit model of them, started to identify and tag areas, show construction sequencing, how this would all go. This was running meters of cable from one area to the other, so there was quite a large package of work that went in with it as well. We coordinated all that, and then the result of that was a successful tender for them. So the project was awarded, it's on site, and we're starting to see more requests from that. So this project is just over 1 million that required BIM as a deliverable. So as we were going through that roadmap, it's at 10 million now, but it is getting down to the million. This is another project I was working with Syncon Engineering, who are based in Waterford. They were delivering this project, and because I got talking to them because of my Kingspan background, and what they wanted to do was make a real-life 3D model that they could send directly to manufacture in Kingspan. There was 4 different products on it. There was the hook on cassette, the Kingspan carrier for the facade, RW for the roof and the parapet. So we made all those in 3D, the 3D model, and like the guy before me was just talking about in Dynamo, we used it to extract all the quantities, and something like this here. So although those panels are the cassettes are the same size and width, there was an opening in that cassette, so that's a different type because they have to be manufactured differently. So how do you start to build all that logic in to create an automated bill of materials? So it was a very good kind of project. And on the right, bottom right, you can see that's actually the order being transferred into Kingspan system, where they're able to produce the shop drawings from it and just the 3D junction details that we were getting to. So getting down to that really high level of detail that was required. So that project is currently on site. And then the next one, like we're talking about the different customers out there, and we're not always looking at the big customers, because this is a small startup working I'm with kind of around Mead. They do all these modular cabins and layouts, but what they used to do was get sketches, hand sketches and drawings in the back of whatever, and they couldn't sell it to the customers, so they engaged with me, and we came up with a BIM process, and we started to make these 3D kind of models and renders for them. And then the impact of that was now 80% of their projects are awarded because they can deliver this as a deliverable. The client can see exactly what they're getting, and then they can make changes here or there. So there is some automation now I'm looking at to try to improve this, because there is still manual work. Each one of them is a Revit project that you need to tailor individually. But this customer is really starting to see the benefits of it. And I've managed to introduce a common data environment to these as well. So getting the BIM processes in play into the company, regardless of the size, is kind of one of the things we're looking at. Another company I'm working with is another startup. It's called CladPad. So they're the first to market magnetic pad. What it does is it sticks onto insulated panels. So it offers that impact protection. So it saves repair when the building is kind of operational then. So some of the work we've done, we've kind of went full spectrum with these from DPD 1 to 4. So the first one, I got them up to speed with using Revit, Navisworks, set up an Autodesk Construction Cloud, started to getting them used to that as well. So they're kind of starting to get their heads around that now, and the products have been developed in it as well. That's an example of some of the Revit content that we've made. It doesn't look like much because that's what the product is. It's just a 2x4 by 1.2 magnetic pad, but we've made that to be fully functional so that when it goes into Revit, it can extract all the quantities automatically, and I'll show you an example of that as we go along. And then the third bit is the showroom. So we've developed a showroom with them based on one of their sample projects that we've set up. That's some images of what the showroom will look like. It just renders, but that will be a fully interactive showroom that you can walk around. You can select the different products, and I know it's hard to see, but there's two different product types. This is the full size, and then there's a 1200 by 1200 which goes in underneath windows. That will have a hotspot, so when the information can be pulled out, the element can be viewed in 3D, it can be downloaded, and then it can be followed up with accordingly. So that's going to be launched at the end of this month. They're currently making a simulation for it to show the panels being assembled. But again, that's going to really set their business apart with marketing. And then this is an example of the digital project delivery that we've done on one of their customers. So it is hard to see, but I did want to kind of show everything that set up a sample. There was 446 clad pads required. Some of them were standard, some of them were non-standard, some of them had branding, some of them didn't, because you could see they had customizable branding. You could have branding on them. So again, it was setting that out, taking that bill of materials, exporting that, and getting that directly into the manufacturer's ERP system, so it can be then produced to the required sizes, so there's no cutting on site required. So that is operational as well. That project has been delivered. And that's it. I forgot to time myself at the start. I know it was 10 minutes, but I'm probably thereabouts. But no, good with the cover there. But again, you can see it's example just of year in business, following kind of an idea you have. You want to kind of go with it and that. So yeah, thanks. If you've any questions, there's my details. I'll be around for the day if you want to chat. But thanks for that.